Good morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 1 to 2.5 forecast. Clouds and showers and thunderstorms expected today and tonight. The high in the mid to upper 70s and the low around 60 to 65. Those showers and thunderstorms will splatter across the area Friday and Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. The high Friday, 75 to 80, and it'll be around 60 Friday night. Showers and thunderstorms Saturday, clearing Sunday. Highs over the weekend, generally in the 70s. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 1 to 2.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Venezuela's opposition leader Juan Guaido says there should be a general strike to force President Maduro from power. Former UK Defence Secretary Gavin Williamson strenuously denying leaking information that led to him being sacked. Russia's President Vladimir Putin signed a new law which will allow the government to tighten control of the internet. And the EU says it'll protect its businesses in Cuba after the US lifted a ban on its citizens filing lawsuits against investors there.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest is on the phone. His name is, and please correct me, Obafemi?
That's correct.
Okay, and then Kinsiedilele?
Yes,
all right.
That is correct.
And for the sake of for the rest of the interview, we're going to call him Brother Obi because I do not want to slaughter his name. And he comes to us by way of Pine Bluff. He is a vegan nutritionist and business owner. And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about himself. And then we're going to get into our discussion about, what it means to be on a vegan diet. We're going to dispel the myths and highlight the facts and, hopefully open people's eyes to what is possible. And hopefully they decide they may be encouraged to make some changes. Not everyone is going to do it. The whole process can't happen overnight. But, there are some benefits to incorporating vegan recipes, meals into your daily diet. So without further ado, here's Brother Obi. So please introduce yourself to the listeners and the viewers.
Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Obafemi Kinsiedilele, known in the community as Brother Obi. I am from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and just a little background about myself. I am 39 years old, and I was pretty much raised on, I would say a standard American diet, let's say the SAD diet.
Okay.
I would say except for, from, my elementary years, my household, we didn't eat a lot of pork, so I wasn't really raised eating bacon and sausage and stuff like that as a child.
Okay.
My parents ended up divorcing when I was about 9 or 10, and so it kind of opened me up a little more to eating what everybody else was eating. So, but both of my parents are educators, teachers. My mother's been teaching for 32 years. My father's been in the school district for about 15 years. They're both retired. And I've been in education for the past 9 years.
Okay.
And as far as health and what got me on this path, was really having children really opened my eyes to a lot, to want to make some changes in my life. So I had my first child back in 2003, and I made a conscious decision that, I didn't want to feed my child pork.
Okay.
So I would say about maybe 2 2004, I decided to stop eating pork. So I was feeling a little better about my diet. And I end up, I'll say fast forward to about maybe 2007. I basically had a challenge. A lady challenged me. She said she had been a vegetarian for a while, and she challenged me to, try a vegetarian diet for about a week. I said, okay, I think I can do this. I can eat no meat. So, I tried it. I liked it. And that kind of what set me on this path. I ended up going into a bookstore and with a friend of mine, and he bought a book dealing with health, African holistic health.
Okay.
And as we were leaving the bookstore, he was driving, so I had the book, and I'm just flipping through the book. And, I mean, the stuff that I was reading was mind blowing for me, and I said, hey, I got to get a copy, and I started to, just educate myself even more. There's some other books that, I was reading for free, and to get information about, what's a vegetarian, the different lifestyles, being a vegan, what's a raw vegan, pescatarian, you got fruitarians, raw foodists.
Wow.
And there's a number of different diets and meal plans that people follow, from the paleo diet, things of that nature. So.
Okay. Well, since there are so many, we won't go into every single type, but I would like for you to explain the difference between vegetarian and vegan. I don't know if some people, we know some basics, but I don't know if people know the real deal, the ins and outs of the differences between those two.
Okay. Well, your basic vegetarian lifestyle, I like to use the word lifestyle versus diet.
Okay.
The typical vegetarian lifestyle will consist of, you primarily eating fruits and vegetables, your grains and things like that, as well as what people call protein, beans and lentils and stuff like that. But vegetarians also still use dairy products. That includes eggs, cheese that's produced from cow's milk. They still may use regular cow's milk,
Okay.
butter, and those type of things. So
they still use it. So mainly vegetarians, they eat fruits and vegetables and grains. However, they still utilize animal byproducts for, like you said, dairy and protein, such as eggs.
Yes.
Okay. Or they just don't eat the meat of the animal.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
And so then with the vegan lifestyle, what does that entail?
Vegans don't consume any animal products.
Okay.
Some vegans get into, they won't even wear animal-based products like leather. They won't use honey as well, because honey is harvested from bees.
Oh wow.
Some vegans do. Some vegans don't. A lot of people, they beg to differ. They'll still use honey. They'll still wear leather, suede, those type of things. But,
Okay. So an individual just has to decide how deep and how far they want to get into the vegan lifestyle. Do you feel that some people who proclaim to live that lifestyle get criticized because they're not doing every single thing someone else is doing?
Yes, you do have a lot of, I'll say, like the food police. People will, people can tend to get critical of what other people are doing as far as this diet. And like I said, you have some very strict levels of being a vegan, and you got junk food eaters who are vegan. But they primarily eat junk foods and processed vegan foods, as well as your conventional, your everyday chips and stuff like that. So,
and I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to definitely dig into that. There are some people feel that following a vegan diet or following a vegan lifestyle is an easy or fast way to lose weight and get healthy. But as you mentioned, many people still eat junk food. I've seen various posts on social media, dispelling, let's just say Oreos or Doritos, and not trying to get them plugged, but still, various junk food items. Just because it says vegan friendly on the package, do we really know how those items are fully processed? We don't know. They're not revealing every single process of what goes on in the plant.
Yes. That's a very interesting point. You have that kind of leads into I would say food sovereignty, being able to have a level of control, or just knowing where your food is coming from, how it's produced, understanding that process. A number, like you said, there are a number of reasons why people choose to go to a vegan diet, and from health reasons to environmental reasons, to ethical reasons about how animals are factory farm produced today, things of that nature. So just because something may say it's vegan friendly, technically, Lay's chips at the gas station is vegan. It's a potato, but it's not the healthiest thing to consume. So I wouldn't say you can, just because you stop eating meat, you're going to automatically be healthier. There's a whole lot of things that contribute to the state of our health today. So,
all right. And so, since we're discussing health, first I want to give a shout out to some people. I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. And there's a person, I don't want to mess up their name, but first I want to say SD. Good morning, Miss Bethany Hill. And then, please help me with the name Kwaisi. Please forgive me. Okay. They give you a bunch of shout outs, and they posted the link to your business and the Grow Something Challenge Facebook page. Good morning to Reginald Brassfield from our sister station in Fayetteville, KDIV, and Miss DeAngelis Bullard. Thank you all for checking in. I hope that you're taking notes and maybe, making some decisions on, how you can incorporate some vegan, even if you don't go into the full vegan lifestyle, maybe incorporating some vegan dishes every now and then to increase your overall health. You never know it. You might like it. It's not all boring. And definitely want to get into that too. But I want to go back into the health aspect when it comes to weight loss and weight management. I want to ask you this. Have you talked to people who think they can just dive right in and go cold turkey, going from yesterday they had a hamburger, french fries, with bacon and all this good stuff, and then tomorrow they're going to just go straight salad, hummus, baked cauliflower, roasted vegetables, and all this?
Well, I will say this. There are many forms of addiction.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't like to acknowledge that food can be an addiction.
Okay.
And definitely different food items, like you can be addicted to salt, you can be addicted to sugar, addicted to cheese. The chemicals that's in a lot of the food that produces. If the chemical is a drug, then you can be addicted to the drugs that's in the food.
Wow.
Without knowing, you thinking that you're craving a certain food, but it's the chemicals that's in the food that got you addicted. And if you ask the average person to, give up what they're eating at the drop of a dime, most people wouldn't be able to last a day or two with their current diet. To say, I'm gonna stop today and I won't have a craving, and those type of things. So, but it's a socially accepted addiction for the most part. So
what advice would you give someone who is considering making the change, and also along with that, if they have any pre-existing health conditions, what type of questions should they ask their doctor? What type of conversation should they start having if they want to make the change?
Well, I would say the first thing you will want to do is educate yourself.
Okay.
And I know there's a lot of information. There's some, of course, misinformation out here. So I would research different sources, just to try to gather information. When you see consistencies in information, I usually, it helps me to make my decision, about what I choose to put into my body and not. But starting off slow, I didn't jump straight into becoming a vegan. Like I said, I had a point to where, I stopped eating pork, and the next phase I stopped eating beef and chicken,
okay.
And then I cut out, so I was just eating like seafood and fish, a pescatarian, I would say.
Okay.
And then I cut out the fish and the seafood, and so I gradually got into veganism. Like I said, the more information I got, understanding different things, I gradually went to that process. So.
All right. So while we're highlighting the good aspects of of a vegan diet or the vegan lifestyle, let's talk about the unpleasant. And how long did it take you to transition? And did you find yourself again, going back to that addiction, craving or missing certain food items? And were you ever tempted to just say, okay, I give up, I'm not doing this?
Yes, definitely. On this journey hasn't been smooth sailing, just to be honest. There's ups and downs. There's times, I've eaten stuff I said I wasn't going to eat anymore.
Okay.
But I've also learned about, how to detox and how to clean things out of your body that you shouldn't be eating, and that type of thing. So, like I said, educating yourself is very key in this. One of the downsides that a lot of people, I would say, deal with is it's probably not a physical thing, but it's more like a socially, the socially acceptance, from being around family members, and hey, you want this chicken, you want some, people are used to seeing you eat a certain way, and you make changes, and it's kind of like peer pressure, and people want to try to pressure you, or you may have people that if they're cooking something, they try to sneak in some meat on you, just different type of things you may have to encounter. The best thing to do is try to be prepared, especially if you're going out of town, or you're traveling, and you may just be subject to like fast food or things like that. It's best to know ahead and try to plan ahead, or you may have to bite the bullet and eat something that you say you didn't want to eat. So
okay. Now, are there publications available that can help individuals, say in the instance that you're traveling and you have to eat at a restaurant, give you guidelines to make better choices?
Yes, there are some online resources. I would say I know the website PETA, PETA, has some recommendations about fast food, what restaurants have vegetarian or vegan friendly options.
Okay.
For fast food that you can check out. One particular type of food that I would say is kind of accommodating is Mexican food.
Okay.
Usually has a lot of vegetables in it. I mean, you do have to ask about certain options, like you're eating the refried beans, where they may have cooked, those refried beans may have been cooked in lard.
Oh,
so,
okay.
It's just different things you can ask. Of course, you got cheese and stuff like that, but just asking questions, trying to plan ahead. There's a list of restaurants that are opening up new options because a lot of people are, I would say, getting more conscious and more concerned about their health. So,
okay.
As it grows, more restaurants will kind of accommodate for the consumer, the conscious consumer. So,
okay. All right, and so we're going to get ready for a quick break here in a moment, and when we come back, we'll talk about how you have taken your education and now you are pouring it into the community in which you live, and you're trying to help other people become, more conscious and aware of their eating habits, their lifestyle, things of that nature. And do you feel that, we'll discuss, do you feel we want to get the feedback from the people. Have they been reluctant to accept, or, have they been welcoming? But we're going to hold that until we come back from our break. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Is your spouse close but distant? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. We all know what it's like to have someone sitting right next to us, but whose mind is miles and miles away. In marriage, this can play out when our spouse is physically beside us, but is emotionally distant. To reconnect, here are 3 steps to take when your spouse is close but distant. First, recognize it. Avoid being so focused on your own issues and to-do list that you're unable to see when your spouse is being distant. Second, assess it. It's important to take time to reflect on the situation and what could be causing your spouse to be distant. For more ways to reconnect when your spouse is physically close but emotionally distant, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Jonathan Higgins of the Jonesboro Police Department. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join the Jonesboro Police Department. Since joining, I've had the pleasure to give back, protect, and serve my community. Now I want to let you know about that same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing for the patrol officers at the Valley View High School. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information, 870-935-5657.
Applications are being accepted. Applications are available at jonesboropolice.com.
Experience the joy with Bishop Adrian R. Rogers, pastor of Fullness of Joy Church, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401. Wednesday night, Word and Worship, 7 p.m. Prayer Thursday night at 7 p.m. Sunday School, 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning worship, 11 o'clock a.m. And our Sunday night live service at 7 p.m.
Do you like the music you hear on KLEK 102.5 FM? Do you like the educational programming that we provide? Do you like the service we provide to the community? Do you like having a station to finally call your own that represents you? If so, please stop by or call any of our underwriters or sponsors that you hear on KLEK and tell them thank you for their support. The support of our underwriters and sponsors is vital for us to stay on the air. So be sure to let them know that you thank them for their support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My guest is on the phone, and Brother Obi, and he is a vegan nutritionist and business owner in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Now, aside from his business, he does a lot of community work, trying to help raise awareness concerning the vegan diet / lifestyle, however you choose to call it. So we're going to get back into our conversation with Brother Obi, and so let's talk about your program. It's called Grow Something Challenge, and so it also is a community garden. So tell us more about that program.
Okay, so the Grow Something Challenge started about, I would say, about 2.5, almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
Online, we had the hashtag Grow Something Challenge. And it was basically a call to bring awareness to the community about basically wanting to plant something for yourself, whether that be, from the basic kitchen herbs like basil, rosemary, to, your own fruits or vegetables. Growing indoors or outdoors. So we showed people a number of different methods, from no-till gardening to growing in containers, crates, even sprouting seeds in water bottles. We just tried to show people a number of different methods to use to grow.
Because I know sometimes people use the excuse, I don't have the space, I don't, I don't have a backyard, I live in an apartment, or I live in a complex where I can't utilize the grounds. Some apartment complexes won't let you plant your own stuff on their property. So some people come up with a lot of excuses why they can't do, but I have seen over the years, and of course by way of social media, the possibilities that are, the options that are possible for people to grow stuff. In metropolitan cities, people are utilizing rooftop spaces to start greenhouses and green spaces and things of that nature. So anything is possible with a little ingenuity and, determination.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, of course, with anything new, there's going to be some pushback, because the area of Pine Bluff, we just want to mention that it is, would you say it is majority African American or minority in Pine Bluff?
75-80%.
Okay. And so we, as you mentioned before, the type of, lifestyle you live or nutrition diet that you grew up on, the majority of us in the African American community, that's what we grew up on, what we call soul food, which everything was cooked in oils and sugars and everything that was not particularly healthy for us, but that's all we knew, or most of our people knew at the time. So when you introduced your program, what was some of the positive and negative feedback that you received?
As far as the positive feedback, I've been invited to speak for a number of different platforms over the years dealing with health. But I recently, I say about 2 months ago, I was asked to speak on urban farming and gardening for the Rural Life Conference UAPB hosts. And the feedback, I mean, there were a number of people throughout the community, professionals who, asked a lot of questions. The response in the community right now, we're in our second year with the community garden. So we produced pretty decent last year. It's I would say about 5 families right now that are working. We actually have 2 lots in the city. So there's about 5 to 6 families that have been working the 2 community garden sites we have right now. We've had volunteers come out as well, and we've also partnered with a few other organizations in the city for some resources and things of that nature. So the response has been good thus far. I've done some food demonstrations and just trying to help bring awareness and information to the community to be more open to want to take charge of your health before the doctor gives you a sentence.
Yes.
You have to make a change. So
all right, so
trying to be proactive, more proactive than reactive.
Yes, sir. And I've had conversations with medical professionals that have stated a lot of times people don't go to the doctor until it's really too late, and then they're upset because the doctor has handed them this long list of a diagnosis of what's all wrong when it could have possibly been prevented by making some changes early on, or even just going for the regular checkups to check for those numbers and levels, their blood pressure, cholesterol, things of that nature. And like you said, making changes early is worth more and is more beneficial, and it's just worth it in the long run versus waiting until it's too late and you are forced to make a change. And I want to say thank you to, is it Kwaisi?
Yes.
Okay, for posting the links to various websites and information. So anyone that's out there listening on the radio, when you get a chance, go to the Facebook page and look through the comment section and make note of all of the information that has been posted. Thank you so much for that. I'll make sure to get some of this information for myself. And so with the garden, I'm sure you introduced various recipes, because what's the point of growing all of this stuff if you're not going to utilize it to its fullest? And so have you had people that make comments like, oh, well, vegan lifestyle, vegan diet is boring, or it's expensive, or talk about that aspect?
Yeah, those are some of the, I would say, the myths that's out here. That a vegan lifestyle is boring. You just eat grass. You just eat bird food, stuff like that. So, what I found out over the years is my food palette is much larger than it was when I was I had a standard American diet or an animal-based diet. Usually the biggest portions of people's meal is the meat,
and it's not supposed to be, actually.
Right. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Or also, we've been socialized to look at vegetables, and fruits as those are sides.
Yes.
And so we usually put smaller portions of vegetables on our plate. So, when we thinking about it, we just looking at the meat is missing off the plate. And all you got is sides to eat now. I'm like, no, that's the main course. Your fruits and your vegetables those transform to be your main course now. So you increase those portions.
You know, I once had a thought. I wish there was a business that sold only sides. You know, sometimes you just have a hankering. You know, you don't want any meat that particular day. You just want some various side items, but that are prepared in a way that they're not weighed down, and you don't get the full flavor of how that food was intended to be consumed.
Right.
So, alrighty. So let's talk about now. Some people may feel, well, with the vegan diet, you don't get all of your nutrients, you know, that you would get from, say, animal byproducts. So, tell us how we can make sure to get in our, you know, nutrients and protein, especially, and calcium and things that are beneficial to the maintenance of our body.
So, supplements, herbal supplements, are a good way to get your added nutrition. What people may call superfoods, such as like flaxseed, chlorophyll, liquid chlorophyll. Spirulina is like a dried form of seaweed that people take. It's pretty much like a multivitamin, but it's all, you know, it's all natural. You know, one plant-based source that has multiple minerals and vitamins in it. You know, like people may take Centrium for like a multivitamin. Well, spirulina, liquid chlorophyll, flaxseed, the number of B12 supplements are different things that you can take, herbal supplements in a capsule form. Some people use teas to drink to get that added nutritional boost.
Okay.
So,
all right, that's wonderful. We have a comment from Miss SD, and she says, "I'm a big meat eater. I swear, when he cooks, you wouldn't even know that meat isn't in there. It's so flavorful and fulfilling." Well, whenever you come to Jonesboro, you're gonna have to definitely cook something for us to try out. I'm not opposed to eating, say, a plant-based meal. I actually love the alternatives every now and then. I've tried my hand at some, you know, black bean burgers and roasted vegetables. I'm just not the best cook when it comes to that, but I am not opposed to trying it, and I'm sure you have some alternatives, some options that are easy. And okay, let's get into that. There are people who may feel, I can't do it, like it's too hard. Just the whole process of how do I manipulate this food item to make it something that is flavorful and fulfilling. What do you have to say to those people?
Like I said, to me, it goes back to just you know, if you are I would say you're not serious if you want to make changes. Like, I know getting diagnosis from a doctor that, you know, something that you don't want to hear may force you to make changes, and a lot of people may feel overwhelmed, but just taking it one day at a time. Sometimes we may make things more difficult than it seems, but when you eat an apple, you're vegan.
Okay.
You eat a banana, that's vegan. If you're eating basic fruits and vegetables. I mean, fruits is a good way to help you get started. Increasing your fruit intake and increasing your water intake.
Okay.
A lot of times we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. And the average person doesn't drink enough water. That's a big part of our diet or our eating lifestyle is our water intake. And a lot of times we're dehydrated from the foods that we're eating, like salt pulls moisture from the body. So if you're eating a lot of salty foods where you're basically dehydrating yourself over time, and you get a craving, you're going to eat something else again, and you're not getting the water that you need. So increasing your fruit intake, fruits that are saturated with water. I mean, of course, watermelons, good things to eat in the morning time because they're like 98% water.
Oh.
So they don't take about maybe 15 to 20 minutes to digest.
Okay. Now, what about consuming the food items that will help you to feel more full throughout the day, so you don't catch yourself snacking and some people like to graze, which can also be detrimental to your overall health, because when you feel that hunger, what you think is hunger, you grab something that is not nutritionally it's not nutrient dense, it's empty calories, and then you may end up feeling guilty, and then you're hungry again later, and then you go for something else, and the cycle continues. So again, what are some suggestions you would have for people who like to snack, who can't, or who don't like to eat full meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or whose body is just not accustomed to that? They are accustomed to smaller meals at different intervals throughout the day. So what advice would you give to someone to help them feel fuller longer?
Options like as far as like meal prep, you have people that do meal prep services.
Okay.
You also have making your own trail mix.
Okay.
To me, that's it's pretty fun. Making your own trail mix, you get a chance to decide what type of seeds and nuts and stuff that you want to incorporate, dried fruits as well. They also have dehydrated vegetables that are seasoned, dried, that you can eat. So it's a lot of prepping, being prepared.
Okay.
I would say like you have a job and you don't really have healthy options. You may want to look into doing meal prep, or preparing your snacks for work for the week. That way you're prepared, so you won't have to run by the vending machine and grab something unhealthy, things of that nature. So preparation would help to kind of curb some of that. As far as like feeling full, there's a misconception that if you want to get your protein, that's like one of the ultimate questions that vegans get. Where you get your protein from? Where you get your protein? And I'm yet to see a news story or obituary or cause of death that says, we dying from lack of protein in the United States. Like, no one's dying of lack of protein in the United States. Unless you're literally starving to death. That's like one of the only ways you would die from a lack of protein. I think we get too much protein, especially animal protein.
Okay.
And but vegetables have protein as well. There's vegetables that have as much protein, if not more, than meat. And meat is there's no piece of meat that is a complete protein.
Okay.
We're not, for example, a lion in the wilderness is a meat eater.
Okay.
They consume the entire animal to get the nutrients that they need. They're not seasoning, they're not cooking it. They catch the animal while it's alive and consume the whole thing. That's complete protein for them.
Okay.
But for us, as I know people beg to differ to say we're omnivores. I would say that the path of least resistance would be plants.
Okay.
You think about human beings, and the path of least resistance would be to pick a berry or a piece of fruit off of a tree. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to do anything. It's picking, and you can put it in your mouth. But there's a process that goes with consuming an animal that's not the same as, like I said, fruits and vegetables. So I would say we're primarily herbivores. We've adapted to be omnivores.
Okay, that's awesome. During your presentations, do you provide, say, some alternatives? Like you have, here's one option we're just going to use, cheese dip. Cheese dip. That's just off the top of my head. Okay,
Yes.
so here's, what you may normally eat. And here are some vegan options to cheese dip. And then also, do you try to help people learn how to pack their pantry so that they don't find themselves lacking specific items that are necessary to fill in the gaps in their meals, either for flavor or for nutrients?
Yes, indeed. One of the things I like to share with people about, what type of foods you need to eat, those types of things. The first place, it really kind of depends on how the grocery store is set up, but you primarily want to get the bulk of your food from the produce section.
Okay.
If you're doing that, you're going to be on the right path.
Okay.
I know that we're in a fast-paced society and we kind of on the go, so fast food works for a lot of people. And eating out. But the more time we put into and focusing on our health and nutrition, we'll see the benefits of you being able to prepare your own food, because you know what you're putting in your food, how to fill your pantry.
Can I put a pause? We're gonna put a pause right there because we're gonna take another quick break, and I don't want you to get cut off. So we'll wrap up this discussion, and then any final words of encouragement you have, and how people can contact you in our last segment. All right, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these
You're
announcements.
listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. The Bible says that the wages of sin is death. Well, when it comes to how you manage or mismanage your money, there are bad habits and unhealthy mindsets that can kill your capacity to build wealth and achieve your financial goals. It's important that you recognize and guard against the 7 deadly sins of money management. First, anger. You should never, ever spend money when you're angry. Envy. This is when you feel you need to keep up with the Joneses. These are just 2 of the 7 deadly sins of money management. Check back tomorrow to see if you might be guilty of any of the others. And if you are, don't lose hope. Just listen to Money Matters Daily and we'll tell you what you need to do to repent. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
It's graduation season, and KLEK 102.5 FM is offering you an opportunity to congratulate or shout out that special graduate in your life for just $10 per message. The messages will air from May 1st through 25th at 7:31 a.m., 12:31 p.m., and 5:31 p.m. Proceeds go to help keep KLEK on the air. KLEK will also donate a portion of the proceeds to the Sonia D. Williams Scholarship Fund of the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. To sign up and purchase your greeting for that special graduate, visit our website at www.klekfm.org or call 870-277-1080. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The Office of Diversity and Community Engagement at Arkansas State University, under the leadership of Dr. Maurice Gibson, is a proud supporter of KLEK and is dedicated to finding innovative ways to advance their mission of creating a diverse and inclusive environment, conducive to educating, enhancing, and enriching lives, uplifting various and diverse groups on the A-State campus, and striving to maintain Arkansas State University a place that is inclusive to all individuals, regardless of origin, color, religion, socioeconomic status, or sexual orientation. More information about the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement is available at www.astate.edu/diversity and 870-972-3081.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us, you'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with my special guest, Brother Obi, out of Pine Bluff. He is a vegan nutritionist and business owner, and he's doing his best to educate the community members, and not just his community, everyone as a whole. And so he's been invited to speak in various groups, and so he's going to tell you how you can contact him, give you some more, and also give you some more information. But if you would love for him to come and speak to your group or organization or event, he's going to tell you how you can contact him. So go ahead, Brother Obi, and tell people how they can reach out to you.
Okay, so I am on Facebook and Instagram as Obafemi Kinsiedilele. I know that's a lot.
Just check our Facebook Live feed for his name.
Yes. Or you can catch me at Grow Something Challenge. That's GROWSUMCHALLENGE. Grow Something Challenge. That's a hashtag. Or GSC Community Gardens.
Okay.
That's on Facebook.
So any one of those ways you can find them.
Yes, indeed.
All right. And so, do you have any speaking engagements coming up?
I do a series of talks in Pine Bluff called Speak Your Piece, where we are making a gathering or a platform. I know we have a lot of discussions about a lot of different topics concerning the African American community on social media, and there are a lot of people who have insight. So we wanted to create a platform where people can actually come out and be face to face, just kind of, be amongst those, thinkers. I would say a circle of thinkers to toss around ideas and topics that concerns our community, locally and beyond. So I do one of those once a month right now. So
okay. And even though we're non-commercial and I can't, promote your business, I do want to mention the type of food that you cook is Mexican soul food.
Yes.
So how did you come up with that? How do you incorporate those two concepts?
Okay, so I said earlier, I've always liked Mexican food, and Mexican food, I would say, is primarily plant-based. Of course, tacos. You got tacos with and nachos and things like that, but I use different things to substitute what people would put in there traditionally for meat. So, I may do like a walnut meat taco. Sometimes I use romaine lettuce instead of using a taco shell to put your filling in. I use a combination of beans and peppers, tomatoes, and corn to make mixtures. So I do a number of different dishes that I present for the community. So.
Okay. Do you use jackfruit in any of your recipes?
Yes, I do. That's like it's becoming more popular in our community. But jackfruit is a wonderful plant. It's pretty huge. It's about the size of an average watermelon, but it has a lot. When it's cooked, the consistency kind of reminds you of like pulled pork or shredded chicken.
Okay.
And you season it up kind of the same way. I mean, you won't be able to tell it's a fruit. So I've had people who are standard meat eaters. They begging me to, hey, when you gonna make some more of that? So the response from that is always good when I choose to make it. It's not that easy to get. There's nowhere that sells jackfruit in Pine Bluff, so I kind of have to outsource to get it here. So.
Okay. All right. Well, as we get ready to wrap up, I want you to share something that we talked about off air when it comes to starting the journey and detoxing. So you got 2 minutes to, give your spiel.
Okay. So starting, I would say if you are serious about wanting to change your eating habits, eating lifestyle, educating yourself, looking for a good full body detox plan. There are a lot of commercial brands online, so do your research, find out, learn about the different herbs that they may use to help cleanse your body out. I would say anybody who's starting or wanting to start to change their diet should do a detox first.
Okay.
And that will help your body to accept what you are starting to put in it, a new style of eating. Your body will absorb the nutrients better once your body is cleaned out internally. So
okay.
That's where I would start. And drink plenty of water.
Drink plenty of water. All right. And I will say this, as an advocate for health and social awareness issues, please talk to your doctor. Have a discussion on, especially if you have a pre-existing condition and you're taking certain medications. Talk to your doctor about the changes you're planning to make, and so they can also give you some guidance on the proper way to start and how to transition into this new lifestyle.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, thank you, Brother Obi, for your time. I truly enjoyed this conversation. And based on the feedback, everyone else has enjoyed the conversation. And we hope this won't be your last time.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to the next time.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great day. And everyone, please look them up on Facebook. Go to our Facebook Live feed comment section. There are lots of links and valuable information, so please check him out and send him a message. So thank you all for tuning in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I hope everyone has a great and blessed day, and try to stay dry. It's a little rainy today.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. A program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Broadcasting from the First National Bank Tower. This is